Hello and welcome back to a new video. Obviously not uploaded a video now for probably for 5 months maybe, whenever November was. But yeah, you'll notice something different. Actually outdoor karting, and we are at Daytona Tamworth for round 5 of Superchamps. So obviously there's been 4 rounds before this. First round in the N-35s, didn't do it and was in the D-Maxes. I did D-Maxes for the first 4 rounds, but I'm not doing them anymore because I just suck ass. Like, horrible in the D-Maxes. Not like, to be fair, it's not that I suck ass in the D-Max, I'm just mega inconsistent. Massive skill issue. But N-35s, I feel like I'm a lot more competitive in my class, so I'm sticking out with the N-35s. Currently, well, I mean, it's hard to tell where you are standings wise. I think I'm 5th on the standings, but I've missed a round where people ahead of me have done more rounds, so it's kind of difficult to tell where you are. I think I'm fighting for probably an overall podium, but I think I'm on average 4th maybe. But, you know, that is what it is. There's still 3 rounds left. But yeah, this video is just footage of the final race, which has obviously started. Currently 4th in class. Maybe? No, actually, I'm not. I am behind Kieran, who's 2nd, so I'm currently 3rd. And then I am now 4th. This guy in front is another heavyweight, so I just dropped down to 4th. But format, and I'm not sure the first 2, which was quali and the first race, because literally nothing happens. Quali, I drive past the heavyweight who's got an absolute shitter of a car, and then race 1, I make 1 overtake, and it is against the guy who's currently ahead of me. But yeah, so currently 4th. We're on the 2nd race in the final. This is where the most of the points are scored. You can bag a maximum of 40 plus 1 for fastest lap. But yeah, so came into this event like pretty confident. Ben wasn't here this time, who is currently that's my keys jangling. He's currently leading the championship. So I thought, I'm in with a shout here, because Ben, I'll be honest, Ben's the quickest there. When he gets given the car, that's like not horrid. He's the quickest there, so I'm not really comparing myself. He's got a lot more experience. So it's just the people around. I was hoping to maybe fight for 2nd overall, but I don't think that's going to happen. But anyway, back on this day, open challenge for maximum points. So I came in pretty confident that I could be challenging for maximum points. So we went into quali after kart allocation. Pretty confident. I was just like, I just need to knock out some quick laps. Went out, got past another heavyweight, like I said. He had a horrible kart that I didn't know at the time, so I'm thinking, alright, holy shit, could be, fighting for heavyweight pole here. Hopefully a decent overall position away from any other heavyweight. Qualifying ends, line up, they're all gritting this up. I'm thinking, you know what, I mean, I could be in. 1st place starting heavyweights. Anthony French gets pulled up first. So, okay, maybe 2nd. Kieran gets pulled up into 2nd. I'm like, oh, God, what's going on? I thought this kart was okay. Then Dylan gets pulled into 3rd, and I'm like, oh, no. I think I may have been done by shit kart. Luckily, starting 4th in the heavyweights. Not the end of the world, and I'm pretty sure I started directly behind 2 heavyweights, maybe, can't remember. Anyway, went out for the first race, made a move on Dylan, got past him, who is currently ahead of me, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Dylan's ahead of me. As you can see, I'm in the toe, he's pulling away, but we'll get onto that at a later point. So I made a move on him, and the rest of the race was boring. I wasn't defending because there was a massive gap behind me. When I did eventually get past him, I was like, say, 2 car lengths behind Amelia, who's a lightweight, and Kieran, who was the 2nd place heavyweight. through the corners, I was keeping up with him. The gap was staying similar. I was maybe slightly gaining on him through the corners, and then as soon as we came on the final hairpin, they were just gone. Like, I couldn't make up enough time in the corners to nullify the gaps they were able to create on the straight. So it turned into a boring race. There was nothing to show. I wasn't driving defensively. I wasn't driving, it wasn't particularly quick because the kart was terrible. I think the kart went even slower than quali, and I was in fresh air. It was so strange. Pretty sure I dropped 6 tenths from quali to race. But, that's what happens when you get a bad kart. So, came into this race, having finished 3rd in heavyweights, and thinking it was just going to be another boring race. I was probably going to pull away from the guys behind like I did in the previous race, and then not challenge the guys ahead, essentially. But that's not what happened. So currently we have Dylan ahead, who's managed to pull probably, I think this is the biggest the gap ever gets. So through the corners I was probably game, other than the first maybe section of the corners, he's probably keeping the gap similar. But as soon as we get to like this section, a more technical section, the gap just comes down. Like, the gaps come down massively, and then final hairpin, I don't know what he was struggling with in the final hairpin. Like, the line he took was fine through that time. This is what I mean with the toe. Like, for me to gain anything from the toe, I literally had to be right behind him to gain anything from him. That's the first time the toe actually benefited me. But as you can see, I'm not gaining any overspeed. Like, where you'll see later in the race, he gains overspeed where he's able to pull up alongside me. Like the straight line speed was insane. But yeah, like that final hairpin, he really struggled through that. I mean, he makes a mistake though, and it allows me to pull up his inside because I just had the overspeed from just keeping it tidy. And then from this point, it was mission. I'm not catching 2nd place up in heavyweights. I'm going to try and keep 3rd place. Just go for a decent haul of points where I could. He gets back past me 2 more times, I'm pretty sure. One of them into, not this corner, so down the far end under the 2nd gantry. I think he gets past me at the beginning of the straight, just for having better acceleration, and then just doesn't defend this corner. I just stick it back up his inside. So you can see that he's pulling up beside me on the outside of a right-hand turn. Wild. And then the second one, he gets past me. I think he does the same again. Can't remember. Pretty sure I did the same thing again. He gets past me on the straight, just for getting the overspeed. And it was rugged. My issue is that I knew if we got back onto a straight and he was ahead, I don't think I was going to be able to keep up with him again. I don't think he was going to keep making the same mistakes. So I just had to basically stick my kart where I was allowed to stick it, but it was going to lead to some contact, I think, based on lack of awareness. So I think the left, 90-degree left before the hairpin by the pit lane, I just stick my nose there and I get through. It was a fair move. It was, there was some contact, but it was a fair move at the end of the day. You'll see it later on in the video. It's more towards the end, last 6 minutes maybe. But I can't be skipping to that point. So yeah, today, or that round, I should say, on that day, the issues with the way that the kart allocation works, it's just exaggerated, I think, in the GP format. So, like I said, you get your kart allocation before you even go off quali, and with the way that these N-35 karts are, they're all over the place in terms of pace. So I've had around, I think round 4 was heats format, practice, and we use different karts, I'm pretty sure. So practice, doesn't matter what kart you get. You're not using it for a quali or something. You're just using it in practice to warm up to the track a bit. Then heat 1, I got an okay kart. It struggled a bit top end, but overall it wasn't terrible. It was I would say it was probably average, above average. Then then second heat, I got a kart that was literally 2.7 seconds a lap off the pace compared to the fastest. I think it was actually compared to my time, if I remember. From the time I did in the previous race to the time I did the fastest in that race, it was literally 2.7 seconds a lap slower. Like, that is obscene. Over like a 10 lap period, I'm losing like over 20 seconds. Like, that's insane. You should not be losing that much time in a car. But anyway, it's what it is. Final, pulled a great kart. So I think I made up 5 places in class, and ended up finishing second in the final. But my event was kind of ruined by the second heat and getting a bad kart, because I technically retired from the race because I literally could not get past second to last place. I ended up losing all the points. But in that sort of event where you're swapping and changing your karts, like, it can work back in your favour. So that's what I like about random allocation each race. Whereas I think in this format, not having the random karts for every heat, or for the 2 races in quali, I should say, sort of decides how your day is going to be before you even get on the kart. You get your kart location, you get your kart number, and it's a known shit kart. Like, you're gonna have a shit day. Like, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, there's only so much, especially around this track, because it's not the most technical track in the world. I would say it's quite boring in the N-35s. In the D-Maxes, it's fun, and I think D-Max are always going to be fun because it's a 2-stroke car at the end of the day. Like, the acceleration's insane on them, and it lends more into how the driver is rather than the kart. Like, obviously, I think at the higher end, karts do make a difference, but for the most part, the driver is going to be the difference between everyone rather than how good your kart is. Whereas in the M35s, it's most of it comes from the kart. So how lucky you are is going to decide probably your championship position. But yeah, like for me, so I qualified 4th in heavyweights, and I made up 1 place in the first race, through God knows how, through what sheer luck. And then kept the 3rd place in the second race. I was never able to challenge Kieran, who was in second, for second place. I was never able to get any time, but I was also, again, not losing any time considering how defensive I'm going. So the guys in 5th and 6th, like, that's how insane the difference is between the karts. Other than that, like, I'm wondering about the karts, and like, it's rental karts at the end of the day. Like, there's always going to be a difference between the karts, but considering like how much it costs to do Superchamps, like, it's not the cheapest place in the world. You can turn up to, for example, I could turn up to Team Sport Warrington and do a members event, and I'll say, like, this car's shit, and it's like 5 tenths off the pace, like. And like, it's obviously a big deal, 5 tenths off the pace a lap, but I'm paying more than double. I'm paying like 2.5 times the amount of a members event at Team Sport to go outdoor in an actual championship, you could say. Well, I mean, it's like an in-house championship, you know what I mean. And I'm paying £92 a round for karts to be almost 3 seconds different a lap is insane. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, it is what it is. Daytona obviously leans more towards the D-Maxes. That's sort of the big selling point. The D-Maxes, the M35s are just like, seem a bit like, oh, they're there for people who can't drive the D-Maxes. So I just don't think they get the attention that the D-Maxes do. And, fair enough. Business is business. But yeah, so I think after this season, I don't see myself doing another season of Superchamps. Like, I would love to try like MK. The issue is MK is just so far away, and I cannot be arsed driving that far to maybe get mid karts as well, and definitely not Sandown, because that's in Surrey. That is definitely miles away. Like, an hour and a half is enough for me to do this and potentially get a shit kart. So it is what it is. Don't care. So, but yeah, probably not doing another season of it, just based on like, it costs £92 a round plus £2 if you paying each round with a booking fee. Like, I just don't think it's worth it. You know, it's like, it's not like it's always sold out as well. Yeah, I mean, I expected a bit more when I came into it this season. Like, it was my first time doing an outdoor comp, and really my first time like properly outdoor karting. I went straight into Superchamps, and like, it's, you know, the kart parity is what is disappointing me. The driving standards and whatnot, I mean, some of them are a bit questionable, but for the most part, it would be really enjoyable if the karts weren't awful. But oh well, I say the parity was awful, but you know, it's rental car and it is what it is. Other than that, there's rest of the race, not much else to say. It's just a very, very defensive drive for the most part until towards the end. I think the last 5 minutes I break the toe, and you'll see me like, oh, like, you see me, you're complaining about the top, and like the overspeed on the outside is insane. I don't go with anyone says. And 10 kg is not the issue. I'm not even bothered. I can outdrive, and I know in my head, like, no ego, I'm quicker than the guy who's fighting me here. I don't care. It's just that I'm so defensive that he's able to keep up, and the straight line speed, obviously. I feel like I'm quicker than the guy who's also second in the race. I just got, you know, it's just a kart at the end of the day. I feel like the person I should have been racing is Anthony first, and that's what it should have been from the beginning of the day. But you know, potluck. Next round we'll do it. Other than that, I'll finish off the last 3 rounds. Hopefully I get overall podium in class, but you know, I'm not holding out hope. It's just, you know, it is a bit frustrating. You drive an hour and a half down, and it's like your cart's decided before you've even gone. Your event's decided before you even go on the kart. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Other than that, you know, looking forward to doing K-Rock, which is in just less than 2 weeks of this video, or when I've recorded this voiceover, which is in Buckmore Park. Probably not. I don't know what they're like with GoPros and whatnot, helmet mounts, so we'll see if I get any footage from that. Other than that, got the week after that, I am at PFI for Club 100. I'm doing a testing on the day. I better not fail. Probably going to suck ass in them 2 strokes as well. Just massive skill issue. And then got the racing for SP40. And then yeah, not sure what else I've got. I've got Wilson Mill like the month after or whatever. I don't even know anymore. Other than that, I've basically got nothing planned. I've got obviously the rest of the Superchamps, like I said. I've been asked a few times about BIKC. Every time I go to a team sport track, someone asks me about it. Currently undecided where I'm doing it. Like, I just have no motivation to do it, literally because of last year, but that is what it is. If I do end up doing it, which I'll probably only register pretty late on, I'm not sure what track, maybe Team Sport Trafford, maybe Team Sport Liverpool, probably Trafford just because it's close and easy to get to. Other than that, yeah, God knows. I'll just let the rest of the video play out. You might see me start like shaking my head a bit, which probably doesn't actually have anything to do with the car. It's more to do with Dylan behind me. So through the final hairpin, it's probably already happened at this point, he like punts me in the back, which I wasn't happy about, because I just knew if I got a shit exit out of that hairpin, he was going to be basically overtake me down the straight. And he punts me through a couple of little corners. He pushes me a bit on the sort of like the exit of this corner where it kind of goes up at the hill a bit, but it's just because of his kart power. I'm flat out. Other than that, it doesn't really pump me anymore. So actually, the right hand hairpin, so not this hairpin, so we go through here, fine. This right hander completely fine, and then with this right hand hairpin, like, he doesn't do it this lap, but some of the laps he's like pushing me in the back, which I make a mistake though, that's why I'm moaning. And he's pushing me in the back, and I will say, actually, going into this, seemingly the stewards don't, or like race control don't actually really watch what goes on track. Like, in one of the rounds, I don't know if it was my first round. Oh, see, this is where he gets past me. Yeah, into it. And then I instantly just get past him. Like, his cart's way faster, man. I don't know how I ended up getting the overspeed there. I think it's because he bounces on the right-hander, but I just get straight back past him. So I think it was quicker. It was just a case of just holding the position. Anyway, she doesn't really look at what's going on track. It's a bit strange. So not this round, previous round. I think it was round 2, maybe, in the D-Maxes. It's seemingly no one gets penalties. It's weird. Round 2, I get overtaken on full course yellows. No penalty for the guy. Like, overtaken on a yellow, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I don't know what the penalty is, to be fair. I'm pretty sure it's, like, fairly hefty. And nothing. No, nothing on the digiboard saying, like, give the place back or, like, or kart, whatever he was in, plus reposition penalty or whatever. Like, nah, nothing. But, yeah, that's bad about it. I don't really give a shit about that. I thought I'd put another whinge in there, why not? I love whinging about shit. But yeah, I'll just let the rest of the video play out. 5 minutes left. Nothing, it's just defence. I think he makes one more attempt past me, and then you'll see the move if you carry on watching it. I don't care if you watch it or you don't. But yeah, I will see you on a future video at some point. Enjoy and see you around.